We call to order the November 13th, 2024 meeting, the Board of Adjustments. First off, we do a roll call of members. Ms. Jamaica, we note that Mr. Brandon Bennett is absent and Mr. Willie Robinson is absent. Everyone else is in attendance. Next up, we open up any public comments for the board, for or against the Board of Adjustments. Ms. Jamaica?
No one signed up.
No one signed up. We'll close the public comments. Next, I'll entertain a motion for the acceptance of the written minutes of the October 9th, 2024 meeting. Motion by Eddie it was? Okay.
A second.
Second by Jake. All in favor? That passes. Next, I'll entertain a motion for the acceptance of the written decision, October 9th meeting. Motion by Devin.
Second.
Second by Brian. All in favor? That motion passes. First up tonight, we have a public hearing to consider the following variance. Zoning review ID PZ-3514.24 for Letitia Murphy, is it? Yeah, is that you? You want to step up to the mic and we're going to ask you some questions. Tell us what you got going on, please.
I'm trying to move a double wide from a Chafalaya mobile home in Lemonville of 3196 Robinson Lane,
Okay.
Donaldsonville.
You already purchased this mobile home?
Yes.
Yep, okay. All right. Any questions? So what I'm seeing here, guys, it looks like it's not that close to the road from the drawing I'm seeing. But it's because of the center line road setback, it looks closer. Y'all seeing the same thing? What you see, Devin?
No,
Yeah.
Is that it?
You replacing the one that's there, or has it been removed yet?
It has been removed.
It's been removed, okay,
They're just waiting to deliver after the approval.
okay.
my discussion would be, I know it's a narrow lot, it's not a very busy area. Land, we're all good with it?
Yes, sir. There's no servitudes or anything on the
No
property.
servitude, no drainage, no,
Correct.
none of the normal Devon questions?
Yes.
Yeah, I know it's not a busy area. I was riding around Donaldsonville for the last month, so.
What do they call in the front of the house, Lance? Facing,
Yeah, I'm gonna call it, it's gonna face Robinson Lane.
So they calling that
double
the
wide
front?
itself. Yes, sir. Well, and also because it's center line of the road. So
Yeah.
that's why it has to meet that requirement. Basically, it's gonna go in a similar situation where the one existing was there. So it's basically maybe a little bit more to the back part, but she's gonna meet that requirement to the back with the new home. So it's the front. Basically gonna fall within pretty much the same footprint of what the other home was there in the front along the road.
okay.
Steve, let me answer your question. So what you're asking is, we're saying the frontage of the lot, the described lot, we're gonna say is Robinson, or we're gonna say it's Ballpark?
No, we're gonna say it's Robinson.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna say along that. Along the other one, she's gonna be fine. I mean, she's way off the
Yeah,
road on
everything
that, so
else
yes,
is-
sir.
okay.
But it's really the center line of the road that we're really going after, or what she's requesting.
Okay, I need to open it up for public comment. Anybody here to speak on this issue?
No one signed up.
All right, we'll close the public comment. Any more discussion, motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Brian for acceptance. Second by Devin. Any opposed? Your variance is granted.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
can- I'm dismissed. I have to go to work.
I'm sorry?
Can I leave?
Yeah, yeah, free to go. All right. All right, next up, we got zoning review IDPZ 3518.24 for Sienna. Am I saying that right? No, huh? Not even close, huh? Sorry. What's your name?
Shauna.
Shauna, okay. Okay, tell us what your variance you're looking for tonight.
So my mobile home got moved onto the property, and it's a single-lane road, and I was unaware of the requirements that it had to be from the center line of a single-lane road. So it's just a little bit closer at the end of that dead-end street.
Yeah, I did notice it was kind of on the end of a street.
Yes, sir, we're one of the last houses on our property.
I did have a question on this one, Lance. Does the actual street right away dead end right there, or does it continue and just hadn't been built? Looks
Looking like it stops.
Looks like it just
Yeah,
stops.
according
there.
to the survey that I see, it stops. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Any questions for Ms. Shawn?
Go with ditch real quick. That ditch right there, this isn't affecting that at all, right, Lance, or for that Lance?
No, that's
Okay.
probably one of the reasons why it's a little further up,
Okay.
is because of that ditch.
Any other questions before I open it for public comment? None?
No one signed up.
Close the public comment. Questions, motions, discussion?
Lance, it looks okay to you?
Yep.
I'll make a motion to accept as written.
Motion by Mr. Eddie to accept as written,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Jake. Any opposed? Variance is granted.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have zoning review ID PZ 3524.24 for Pamela Moran. Ms. Moran, you step up and tell us what you're looking for.
Hi,
Hey,
I just have 1.33 acres right there, and I just want it divided so that my daughter can build a house. It's got a small rent house on it.
I had a question on this one that I wasn't sure about. If we can get her a map, Ms. Jamaica, I'm trying to figure out how you trying to divide it. If she's gonna bring you a map and she's gonna put it up on the overhead, and you can just draw a line or something for us.
We just want it where the line kind of comes on the side of the rent house and gives her the majority of it. Like, like separating it here, where it gives her the majority of the land.
Did y'all see?
Yeah,
It's gonna be, this is a dead end road.
how's the lot gonna be accessed, Lance?
It goes through Hattie Road,
Yeah,
off of By June Road.
okay. Eric's gonna go up there also, but she would split it in half. The issue is that you can't come off of a private access servitude with another private access servitude. So the lot would have to be cut basically in half,
Okay,
and then,
that's why we're not doing it with just an access
correct,
servitude.
yes, sir.
Yes, because she's gotta come off, if you see where Hattie Road comes up, it goes to the northern edge of the property. Basically, she has to have a required frontage back to the building line. So the best way for her to do this is to split the frontage that she has in half, back to the building line, and then she can come down whether it's 5, 10 feet or what have you, and go back to behind the rent house and then come back here once she gets the required lot size there, so that she'll have frontage, and for her to be able to get the frontage on the existing servitude of passage and apply for the family partition, you have to grant her the variance and basically split this frontage on Hattie in half.
That makes a whole lot of sense. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Thank you. I understand it now.
I don't understand it, but thanks. I mean, I do what you're saying, but I just want to divide the land.
Yeah, I understand. I understand where he's coming from and why we're having to do this. And it makes plenty of sense. I just want to make sure we were doing it the right way. Any questions before opening public comment? Mr. Maker, anybody signed
No
up?
one signed up.
We'll close the public comment. Questions, discussion?
Only question I had, you said family partition, so they'll have to go back in front of planning, or are they going next? Like, are they going later today or next month, you think?
No, it'll be at a subsequent meeting.
Okay. That's the only one I had.
Motion?
I'll do one more question. So the numbers we're just doing as top of our head, like, I guess they're gonna get somebody to come serve.
Yeah,
sit
it has to be
back
surveyed.
on- Yeah,
Yeah.
so we're
Okay.
just basically splitting it,
Yeah, that's what, the way it was written, was split in half.
just making sure. All right.
Yeah, we're not subdividing it, we're just giving her
Yeah,
the
I got
variance
Family
to, yeah.
partition, right. I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Jake, and a second. Second by Mr. Eddie. Any opposed? Nope, that variance is
Thank
granted.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, shoot, we still got two more. Next, we have zoning review, IDPZ 3527.24 for Dora Kinsey.
See the density. On a .4 acre lot. I'm just trying to put two of them there.
Ms. Dora, you can, just tell us what you're looking to do here. Tell us the variance you're requesting.
Yes, I'm on a piece of property, living in a trailer now. I'm trying to get, I got the permit. I got the sewage permit, and I talked to Ms. Jamaica about the situation. But I don't know if I could put the other trailer in front of the old trailer. Trying to find out the property space to put it.
Okay.
I got plenty of room.
Said plenty of room, no long skinny lot. Any questions for Ms. Dora? Any discussion?
I got, I'll go for Lance. Lance, what's next to that? Is it public servitude or something?
Good question. It's shown on the map as a public servitude or public right-of-way. I'm not sure, so, but it is, there's a road there.
Yeah, I see it, I mean.
Yeah,
So I
Mark
think
can
it's
answer
going
that
to
I
question.
think Mark has an
Yeah,
answer.
Mark answered that question. I don't think it's there, it's just shown on the map.
Yeah. Come on up.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm Mark Mayer.
Huh?
I'm Mark Mayer. That is a private roadway, access to the property and to the farmland.
Okay.
It's not public. The parish had requested to pave it way back in the 90s. They never maintained it. It's not shown as public. I have documentation to support that, but they have their own driveway. Adjacent to that, it parallels it, so that's not an issue.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah,
So basically, as we say, it's an old Canefield Road, right?
Yes.
yeah, basically,
Okay.
yes.
I went through Google Earth pictures, and it looked like back in maybe 2017 or something, they had a second mobile home there. Is that right? For maybe a year or something?
It was an old one, then the one I'm in now. It was an old one,
I got you.
yeah.
I know many years ago, there was a old house up at the front, and then the old Acadian-style house in the back. But since then, things have changed, and she has a mobile home, and they're proposing to put another mobile home.
Okay. Any more questions? Open for public comment. Ms. Jamaica, anyone sign up?
No one signed up.
Nope. We'll close the public comment. Missed it. Yeah, I know, a lot of it here.
Yeah, I think we did like we usually do. When we do those, you know.
Ms. Dory, so this is gonna be you and your son is gonna live in the old one, you putting a new one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're right.
In the past.
Yeah. Any more discussion? Motion?
Would you call that added addendum to the motion?
It's about 4.9,
Just
4.5, something like that, yes.
Approved it.
approve with the stipulation that if he ever moves out. Type thing.
I'll just say my part is, I think this is in harmony of that side of the parish, where you got family wanting to live by family. It's 4 acres, it definitely fits, our zoning character.
So,
and
hey,
the fact that multiple
excuse me,
homes, but-
excuse me, it's point,
Oh,
yeah,
point, wow,
yeah.
it's a 4.
No, no, 0.45. It's a little less than a half acre. Yeah. That's why she's making the request.
It's still how it is over there.
Yes.
I mean, even though it's a small acreage, it's in the middle of 45 acres of sugarcane fields, you know?
Again, it doesn't change what I'm about to say, but yeah.
Okay.
I think it fits what we intend on, for people to live, family live by family. I wish more of our parish was able to do like that, so I would support if anybody makes a motion.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a motion. Lance, if everybody's good with that, the stipulation would be like we usually do.
Yeah.
If the son moves out, the trailer has to be moved off non-rental use. But motion to approve with that.
Okay, motion to approve with the stipulation that if the son ever moves out or any other immediate family member doesn't move in, trailer has to be moved. A second from Eddie. Anybody opposed? Nope, your variance is granted. You done?
You good? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't say it in the beginning. We got some people sitting out here. I don't know if y'all for the planning meeting to follow, but if y'all have want to speak or for and against any issue we have here, you need to walk up, sign a card with Ms. Jamaica so you can be part of the public comment. All right, last up tonight, we got zoning review ID PZ 3528.24, Lot 18 for William and Nancy Carter. Hi.
You were asking for a variance to the 20-foot setback to construct a I want to build a storage shed behind my house. There's an existing concrete pad, and you can, if you got the pictures, you can see the shed. It's on skids. It's nothing anchored to the ground. Planning on matching the house with the same paint color and shingle color. And we didn't apply for a permit originally because the shed is below the 200 square foot size. And we did submit a shed request build to our neighborhood HOA for review by the Architectural Control Committee, aware that the HOA restrictions had a 25-foot rear setback. I didn't really think this applied to temporary buildings, though, because we've got neighbors, in fact, one right next to us that's got his shed against his back fence. So our shed is partially constructed now, is 9 feet from the rear property line. And per HOA restrictions, it's not visible from the street. and is located entirely below the house structure.
Mr. William, if I may interject for a minute.
Yes.
We're not here to determine HOA.
Oh, yeah, okay, yep.
That,
I'll forget
I
that,
know,
yeah.
I just
Yeah.
want to explain,
Da, da, da.
that's a civil matter between
Yes.
you and the
All right.
HOA. We just here to discuss the ordinance of the building setback for the parish.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry about that.
That's okay, no,
I started working the shed, and I'm at the point now where you see it, and I stopped work whenever the stop order came in from Lance's office. And that's where we are now. I've got the shed as far to the right towards the servitude as possible. I can't really put it in the backyard because I'd have the same setback issues. I want to put a shed back there so I can get the lawn equipment out of the garage so she can park her car in there. And so we're asking for this variance because this is the only location in our yard where a shed can be built and not be visible from the street. With a pool in the backyard, it's the same issue.
Okay, any questions, comments from the board?
Yeah, I'll do one for Lance. On this survey, the back dotted line, is that for a drainage servitude, or? It looks like we're out of it, but I'm just curious.
I'm pretty sure there's 7.5-foot servitude along the rear of the property.
Okay.
There's 15 feet, 7.5 on each side.
Okay. But I'm saying for drainage?
Yes, yeah, it's a drainage servitude.
But he's 9 feet, he's outside of that.
I'm
Okay.
just curious.
Do we know if there's any ditch there, or?
That's my next question. Is there a ditch back there
No.
of any kind, a swell or anything
No.
like that?
Okay.
Y'all's fences are in the middle of it, y'all both maintain it, looks like, grass and all, so.
Oh, yeah.
And not that we have a normal, but in my opinion, they're less than the normal 50% that we talk about. So, again, not normal, normal's not the right term, but,
I just want to build a shed.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, I'm just saying to y'all, that, I would support it as written. Go ahead, Bob.
Any other comments? Okay, we're gonna open up for public comment. We have,
Yes.
we have to ask y'all to have a seat for a minute. We're gonna go through this public comment process.
All right, I have Miss Amy Tabor, and she wishes to speak, and she's not in support.
Hi.
Thank y'all for having us tonight. So I am the adjacent property owner, so my house, my backyard looks at the proposed shed that the Carters are wanting to build. I would also like to mention, I know this isn't an HOA issue, but I am the president of the HOA, and we did deny their shed because it's in the servitude. Part of the beauty of our neighborhood is that we are spread out from each other, and you know, my backyard is something that I work hard on. I have a pool in my backyard. The eyesore that I would see is the shed that's being proposed to be built in my backyard. And we work really hard as well to try to maintain our property values. And so as for those reasons, we're in opposition of the shed.
Let me say this, because a couple of us members also sit on the HOA board of our subdivisions, and I understand your pain, but it's not something that we can do up here. It's something that has to be done, as you probably know from being the president. You have to take it up with your justice of the peace, and you may have to end up doing that if the variance is granted here tonight. So
Yeah.
just
I do understand that, thank you.
Okay.
The other comment I would make as well is I know that it's mentioned that the shed is temporary. However, if you would see the way it's being constructed, once those walls are built and once that roof is on the shed, it's not going anywhere. You know, I mean, you can argue it's not bolted down to the concrete, but it's not movable anywhere. And there is nowhere else on their property that they could move the shed or put the shed. So it's kind of like arguing, you know, you're going to call it movable just because you don't have screws in the concrete, but it's going to be a very heavy, large structure that is not going to go anywhere once it's built.
Okay.
That's
Is
all
that
I have
all?
to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I have these. They are not present, but they wanted to state their side. I have Adrian Oden, and they are not in support, stating violate HOA restrictions. I have Kelly Shoup, and they are not in support due to violates the HOA restrictions. Rochelle Markinson, not in support, and it violates the HOA restrictions. And then Pamela Cruty, not in support, due to the violates the HOA restrictions. Heather Sessa, not in support, it violates the HOA restrictions. Emily Wong, and they're not in support, it violates the HOA restrictions. And Reagan Sudier, they're not in support, it violates the HOA restrictions. And then Mr. Chris Klingman, and they're not in support, stating it violates the HOA restrictions, and that's all.
Okay, we'll close the public comment. Questions, motions, discussion?
I had a question here. I'm just kind of,
You want him to step back up?
no, I mean, I'm just wondering if this is it's not a permanent structure. Why don't you do a permanent structure and add on an addition and everybody get along? You know, that's kind of what I'm wondering. So,
If you wanna step up to the mic and answer that, you're welcome to.
just a question.
Yeah, it's just a matter, all we wanted to do is have a place to put our lawn equipment, you know?
Right.
And it is on pallet skids, so, you know, if you get a front end loader or something, you know, a skid thing, you can move it. I mean, it's not that big a deal. Also, the HOA did approve it, and then they came back and not approved it after the deadline. So we were aware. And the guy, one of the men who's on the HOA lives next door to us, and he's got a shed right against the fence of their property. So it's the same thing. I feel like they set a precedent when they had put their shed there.
Okay.
There's a lot of things, though, that people are doing that HOA really says not to do, so.
Yeah,
Right.
it's just a question. I know we're not in HOA, but just a question.
Yeah.
so.
HOA
you,
is kind of
ma'am.
useless.
Questions, motions, discussion?
Can I address this question? He asked a question about whether or not, why they don't build a permanent structure.
I think he was directing the question to them.
Like I said, I'll support it, but, I do think that if there was someone else to put it, I would recommend that anyway. I see the side of the property, the driveway and all. I see I know the servitude, but I don't like the word precedent, but, it fits what I'd wanna say, and like you said, we're not an HOA business here, so.
Hey, Lance, have we approved anything in that neighborhood of such?
Not that I'm aware of. No, sir.
So was that a motion? Or was that discussion?
No, that was just discussion.
Okay.
My bad, John.
I'm assuming on this photo that this is the other neighbor's shed?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I agree with you, Devin.
Let me ask Carter a question, if I can.
Sure. Would y'all step
Why
back
would-
up, please?
Is there an ability to move it to the side of the driveway or anywhere else on the property?
I could move it out to the driveway, would it be visible from the street, and that's not allowed.
per HOA. All right, I was just
We
curious.
tried.
I was just curious if that'd be a solution for everybody with all the variants or
Either
not.
there or the backyard, which doesn't, had to be the same deal.
Yes, sir. I understand.
We
I
already
was just
have the
curious.
concrete pad,
Yeah.
there, so kind of saves us from having that expense again.
I understand. If we're, I mean, I don't know the way I want to say, I'll make the motion.
I
if
mean,
somebody-
it's, the motion is.
I'll make a motion
It's what we
to,
normally do, it's within our,
to give the, is it 9-foot variance. Basically, that's just written, so.
I'll second.
we got a motion by Devin, second by Eddie. Motion, to approve is written. Any opposed? Variance is granted.
Thanks, guys.
They still have to go deal with the HOA and
You still gotta get all
justice of
that
the peace,
approved,
you know?
All
So,
that could fail big
it's
time.
one step. Anyway, okay, we have any old business?
No, sir.
Any new business?
No, sir.
All right,
Well, we're not gonna have a meeting in December as far as I know, so we won't meet in December, so Merry Christmas and Happy Thanksgiving.
yeah, okay, good deal. No meeting in December. All right, with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Motion to adjourn by Brian. Second by Eddie. Anybody opposed? We're adjourned.